Mythical Pokémon ever since Gen 5 have had a bit of a dark cloud looming around them. They became simply tied to a movie. They were nothing more than marketing tools. Sometimes there was nothing else about them in the games, and it's something that for a long time stained their reputation. That has kind of changed as of late, but there are two Pokémon that 100% have it worse than the rest. So I am not so a strainer, and what about Meltan and Melmetal? Let's get into it. I've always had a bit of a fascination with Meltan and Melmetal. They are the only Pokémon exclusive to a spin-off. They are the only mythical evolution line. They even have a Gigantamax form despite not being available at all to be caught in Galar. One of my earliest videos was about how we could explain this, how a Legends Melmetal game would finally bring some lore about them and even create a Scandinavian region. That would be pretty cool, and you can watch it if you want, but it's a very old video, so keep that in mind. These two mythical Pokémon are a lot more special than other mythical Pokémon, like you would be if you like this video and subscribe to the channel. Like I said, they are only available in a spin-off, they don't have a region, and we have never seen that before. Pokémon Go took the world by storm, and it's undeniable that the connection between Let's Go and the mobile app is there and was always meant to be there. Meltan and Melmetal were simply created in order to promote this. They gave these two Pokémon a main role in the Alolan anime by making it a part of Ash's team, and so everyone wanted it. If you were a collector, you needed that for your Pokédex, and so you would have to play Pokémon Go. If you were a fan of the anime, you wanted to have Meltan and Melmetal, and so you would have to play Pokémon Go as well and get Let's Go, or find someone that had it. And if you wanted to catch Meltan and Melmetal as a Pokémon Go player, well, you would need to find someone with Let's Go or get the game yourself. Getting the box from Pokémon Let's Go to Pokémon Go was the only way to get them, and you needed a bunch of them. Right now you can kinda just do that by sending Pokémon to Pokémon Home, but that wasn't the thing back then. And still, even now, you can only get them in the mobile app despite us being almost in Gen 10. And here is where the problems begin. Mythical Pokémon, a lot of them, have no way to be caught. This will likely change as you have the ability to catch or receive most of them right now through regular gameplay or by having save files of other games on your Switch. Some are harder to get, like Celebi for example, which is tied to the 3DS Virtual Console, or Pokémon like Genesect and Victini, or even Marshadow, Zeraora and Zarude, which aren't really readily available. The Gen 6 Mythicals would be part of that list as well, but with Legends ZA on the way, it likely means that we'll have them be part of the available Pokémon. So, as I said, some of them are really hard to get, but they are actually in the main games. They were created for those games, for the world we're exploring, they are tied to it. Meltan and Melmetal, on the other hand, were made for Pokémon Go. You can't even evolve them in the main series. They weren't made with the main series in mind. And Pokémon Go, well, it kinda has seen better days, hasn't it? Recently, I've made a video about how Pokémon Go has been on the decline for a long time. After the pandemic, the game just made poor decision after poor decision, pushing away a lot of its fanbase. It's undeniable that the game doesn't have the pull that it once had, and there's always the feeling that it could be on its final days, or more likely, final years. The Pokémon Company has no issue in cutting down another mobile app if they believe that it isn't profitable for them. Many have suffered that fate in the past, and many will in the future. So what happens then? With Pokémon Go eventually gone, these two mythical Pokémon that were created with that game in mind are gone with it. Two mythical Pokémon that have basically no lore to them, no region they belong to. What would happen to them? Would they be in Pokémon Limbo waiting to be raised to the heavens by Arceus? We know they wouldn't just leave them there forever, they made those Pokémon popular. And so, they have to find a solution for a problem that they don't seem to be rushing to fix. One thing that would continue this issue would be to simply have a mystery gift with Meltan and Melmetal, since it would still keep the same quote-unquote "this does not belong here" curse going on. Just a gift box with nothing more, no new way to evolve it at all. It also doesn't go well with how they've been approaching mythical Pokémon as of late. So the easiest way to fix this, of course, would be to include them in a future game. We don't know the region they belong to, and so that opens the door for them to do whatever they want. It can be done for Gen 10 or it can be done for any future gen, as long as it becomes a Pokémon that is available, a Pokémon that is part of the Pokémon world. For the longest time, ever since Gen 4, we didn't have access to Shaymin and Darkrai, and even Manaphy was a bit of a gamble because the egg could easily not be in your copy of Pokémon Ranger. But in Pokémon Legends Arceus, this all changed. Darkrai, Shaymin, and Manaphy had their own in-game events, with Arceus even being released for the first time, not only in a new event as a boss in Pokémon Legends Arceus, but also in its original intended event in the All of Origin and Top Spear Pillar as an encounter in BDSP. It could also be a bit of a side quest in another Legends game. I mean, Spiritomb had the Wisp quest in Legends Arceus, and I think we all expect there to be a kind of a Zygarde Cell thing in Legends Z2A. And wouldn't you know it, Meltan and Melmetal work perfectly for this. They evolve by fusing together, meaning that you need many Meltan in order to have a Melmetal. Collecting these cute little things in a Legends or just overall open world setting would 100% be incredible. If it wasn't for Zygarde having such a similar concept, I would even argue that it could appear in Legends Z2A. After all, Meltan's body is kinda inspired by gallium, a metal that becomes liquid at 30 degrees Celsius, and that was discovered by French chemist Paul-Émile Lecoq de Boisbaudrin, pardon my French literally. And this happened, by the way, in 1875, shortly after the conclusion of the Haussmann renovation of Paris, which many of us believe will serve as inspiration for the urban redevelopment of Lumiose City. But since Zygarde is a thing, only one Gather 1000 Pokemon or something quest is more than enough. Honestly, for example, a Legends Galar game could focus on the effects of Eternatus in a different place and finally tell the story on how Melmetal got its G-Max form. After all, they were smart enough to use the very mysterious time frame of 3000 years ago with Melmetal as well, just like the Darkest Day and the firing of the ultimate weapon, so they have their options. Whatever they decide to do with these two mythical Pokemon, I would love to see them finally make the jump from Pokémon Go marketing tools into the main series in a way where they actually have a reason to exist and a way to evolve that doesn't depend on a mobile app. Until then, they are just promo materials and nothing else, materials that one day might stop being necessary, and when that happens, well, let's just hope they have thought things through. And that is all I have for you today, the dangers that are affecting Meltan and Melmetal and how I would fix them. But what about you? What would you do about these two mythical Pokemon? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. Also, you can become a channel member or check out my merch in order to further support the channel. I'd be forever thankful for that. You can follow me on social media or check out one of my streams here and on Twitch. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.